What's up, Liron here. Today we're swatching the Daniel Smith Primatek colors, and also I want to show you, we also got a cute little dog. Ruth, say hi. Say hi to the camera. So in any case, yeah, today we're gonna look at the Daniel Smith Primatek colors. Here they are up close. And a friend gave me this to my birthday, and it's fun. These paints honestly are completely useless to me because I love the limited palette. I love a simple color palette. Give me 3 primaries, I can do magic with them. I don't really need all of these, but it is fun once in a while to play around with them and show them. And I know these have been shown so many times here on YouTube, but hopefully you will still enjoy this, my take, and we're going to talk a bit about how to make money as an artist and this kinds of videos and what you want to see more of in them. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so we'll get started with swatching these now. I'm just going to zoom in on the top section and we'll talk a bit about what every piece of information here means. So I zoomed in quite a bit and you can also see the explanation here. So basically the first number I1 represents the light fastness. Now these are all have excellent light fastness, so no problem here. It's all I, it's all 1. Then we have the staining scale. So 1 is non-staining, 2 is low, 3 medium, and 4 is staining. So you can see here 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, etc. Then we have the granulations. So yes or no. This one is yes, 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 no, yes, yes, etc. And finally, we have the transparency. This is transparent, this is semi-transparent, and this is no opaque. Nothing here is opaque. Okay, so with that, we can start with swatching. And I'm gonna get started with this Sodalite Genuine that you can see right here. Sodalite Genuine. I'm gonna wet this swatch, and it awakens and re-wets very easily, which I love about Daniel Smith paints, and quite a lot of brands don't have this problem of, you know, paints not reawakening. For most of the good brands, it's a non-issue really. I found that M. Graham are some of the easiest to reawaken. Schmink is also somewhere up there. So here we go. I'm gonna try and darken this much more, and we can see how dark it can get, because this seems like it can get quite dark, and a beautiful color. Kind of reminds me of indigo, obviously, and probably reminds that to many of you. By the way, we have a new dog. I don't know if I mentioned, so if there's going to be a bit of noise or she's getting accustomed to the house, sorry, I moved the camera a bit. She's getting accustomed to our home, so hopefully there won't be too many interruptions. So now, Green Appetite Genuine. We're going to start again fairly light. I'm really bad at swatching. It always turns out a little ugly and unaesthetic, so sorry about that. I'm not actually a big fan of swatching and doing stuff like that. I'm gonna just put this here so it doesn't move. I mean, I love testing out some new paints, but I'm a fan of a limited palette. I'm more of that kind of painter, and so I don't tend to use all of these paints, so which is why a dot card is really good. By the way, a friend gave me this one. So this is why it's really helpful. Now I'm gonna just tape this down so it doesn't move. There we go, much better. Next up we have the Lapis Lazuli Genuine. Now if you know anything about stones or gems, you're probably familiar with this one. It's a beautiful paint. And by the way, notice there aren't any pigment numbers because there aren't really any pigments for these. It's not specific pigments, it's the rocks and minerals. So this one, you can tell, is very light. It's very hard to produce a dark value. To me, this kind of paint is completely useless. I'll have to admit, I love Daniel Smith, I love their paints, but this kind of color to me is perfectly useless. I have nothing to do with it because if I use it for light stuff, then I don't know if it works in harmony with the rest of the paints, because I can't use it for dark stuff. And so I'll have to use a different blue. So this I hate. I don't like paints that require a lot of effort in reactivation, as you can tell. And this is probably as dark as this one's gonna get, so I'm gonna stop here. Next up we have the Serpentine Genuine, another one that reawakens pretty easily. It really will depend on the paint and on its unique characteristics. Our cute dog is under my table right now. Hopefully she will remain relaxed and having fun. So here we go. This is a bit of a more olivey, kind of muted, not muted, but this one's actually more muted, more of a yellowy, olivey kind of green. This is nice. I don't really see these paints as a must.
I really am a big fan of a simplified palette of 3 primaries, as you know. But this is nice. Next up, we have the Minnesota Pipestone Genuine. One of the best names I've ever heard for a paint, but that's cool. So let's get it here. I think these stink, you know? Let me smell it. There is a weird smell coming out of them. I don't know. Maybe it's from the air condition? Who knows? But in any case, this one's also not too dark. I have a couple of yellow ochres that take an hour like to reawaken, and I hate that. Despite loving the colors themselves, so yellow ochre, raw sienna sometimes tends to do that. They're kind of similar in that regard. But yeah, this one's also probably not as useful for me and my style, although it's not as bad as the Lapis Lazuli. Next up we have the Amazonite Genuine. I don't know why, my feeling is this one's gonna reawaken fairly easily, though I could be mistaken, and I'm not, I'm actually right. Okay, so this one's a little easier to work with. A nice kind of phthalo-ish, I would say turquoise, green, blue. I tend to like these paints. This one won't be too dark as well, as you can see here. But still nice to have. At least it has an interesting color. You see what I mean? For example, with the Lapis and the Minnesota Pipestone, the colors aren't interesting enough to justify the fact that they're so weak in value, you know. So yeah. And I wonder, you know, always with these swatching videos, Rhodonite Genuine, by the way, now, is should I talk about the colors? Should I talk about some other things that are on my mind? Should I make it into a kind of talking video and just giving you an update on what's going on? Because I think people could enjoy these kind of longer format videos if it's actually a topic of substantial relevance or interest, you know. So I've been updating a lot on my daily podcast, but lately a lot of my attention went to the art fair, but now I'm trying to finally shift it back to my business and to start working on some new courses. Now we're going to work on Hematite Burnt Scarlet Genuine. So yeah, I'm trying to focus more in the upcoming weeks on my courses and products, because that's where the real money comes from. That's what pays the bills, and I'm so grateful for anyone who watches, because mainly from YouTube and Instagram is where I get my course sales. So people watch a video, then they hit a link, and they get to my beginner's drawing course, or they get to, soon there will be some painting courses. So I really want to thank you, because every comment and like and share that I get really helps me, you know, paying the bills, basically. This is what I do full time. And now it's nice because the art fair added some sales, so I'm making more money, but it's a short-term, the way I see it at least, it's a short-term solution. What you want to do is build systems that make income. By the way, this is Tiger's Eye Genuine, and Tiger's Eye is a beautiful stone if you know it. I really, really love it, actually. I had a couple of them here in my apartment. But in any case, yeah, so the main thing for me is really the thing that creates the system. The automated way of making money. That's way more impressive to me as well. And people are always impressed by the wrong things. Like, they hear how many subscribers I have, which is, you know, it is impressive in and of itself, but it's like, these are things that I'm impressed more by my ability to actually sell my product. So I'm more impressed by sales. Amethyst Genuine. So amethyst is another beautiful stone. It is said to be linked with health, if I'm not mistaken. I used to read about these things a bit. It used to interest me. And so yeah. So now I'm working on and I talked about this also in a recent video, I'm working on a watercolor course. This one's nice. I kind of like this one. Reminds me of maybe a more muted version of Carbazole Violet, and it is fairly strong. It's not as weak as some of the other paints here. But in any case, yeah. So one course is going to be about watercolor painting. Another one is going to be self-development using art and becoming more productive and more consistent as an artist. Jadeite Genuine. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited about these two and opening up new streams of revenue, basically. I'm still building their content and figuring out what I need to do. Another big project I'm working on is the How to Sketch People book that's been delayed like by a year, and I keep saying it's going to be out by the and it never is. It never happened yet. So I'm not setting up a date. but I will notice how lazy I get with the swatches. But I will try to really get it done soon. I think this month. I think it may happen because I'm on a roll, and yeah. But the other things do take away from my attention, and I think, by the way, a larger topic for this would be how do you make money as an artist, and I will talk about that soon. This is red fuchsite genuine, which is like fuchsia, I think. I would say so. To make money as an artist, it's really about having multiple streams. It's very rare that you'll do one thing and that'll be the whole thing. If you're selling your works for a very high price, if you're able to do that, then yes, you may be able to live off of that. Or if you're teaching at an institution, then school or whatever, college, then you may be able to live off of that, but it's very rare that you will only do one thing. So this is what it's all about, building a lot of streams of income. So for me, it's the courses, it's the books, it's the selling my paintings, it's YouTube ads, it is a bit of, Patreon donations, etc. It's a bit of, what else do I have? Affiliate, so I'm sharing links to paints on Amazon. When you buy them, I get a very small commission. So it's all of these together. I have the book with the Spanish publishing house. That also cuts me a check every year. So all of these things together, that's how you make money as an artist. It's not just by, doing one thing, and you will find that you need to do multiple things in the beginning. Then you can do more of what you like, with time you get more freedom. With discipline, you get more freedom. That's one of the main things for me, and a lot of people seem to forget these days that with discipline comes the freedom. That's what I believe. And I think that if you have that discipline, you will ultimately gain freedom. This was hematite genuine, and now we're working on sugilite genuine, I guess. So yeah, these paints honestly would be completely useless to me. I love Daniel Smith. I love what they do. I love their normal paints, but I don't need any of those paints really. I'd be happy to review them, and I'm very grateful if someone sends me paints. That's actually awesome. I didn't need to buy paints for the longest time. I did buy some, but I didn't have to. I have a lot of paints here because of people sending me and gifting them so that I can review them. So I'm very grateful for that. The blue apatite genuine. I'm very grateful for that, but I'm really more of a limited palette. Give me 3 colors, generic colors, like the most generic you can think of, and I'll do wonders with them. And just 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 if I'm crazy that day. Nothing more than that. But in any case, here we go. The last one, blue apatite genuine. Like so. This one won't get too dark as well. I'm gonna do my best here to dig out the paint. This is probably as dark as it will get, and it probably will dry lighter. So let me zoom out and show you everything together. So here we go, all of Daniel Smith's Primatek watercolors. And here is the test paper. Let me show it to you more zoomed in. I haven't, I forgot. So here it is, Daniel Smith Primatek watercolors with a brush, and begin testing some of the exciting colors. And here you can see, if you can pause the video to see more information. Our dog's name is Ruth, by the way. Ruth! She's cute. And you can see here they are, and here are the swatches. And I really hope you enjoyed this one. I'm gonna now wrap it up. So this is it for this one, and here is what I got. And as you can see, these are fairly weak, and you can also see the brush marks with them because their values aren't too dark. Again, I would probably not use any of these if I had them, because I only need a couple of very simple paints and I can do pretty much everything with them, but that's just me. And if you love playing around with tons of different paints, then that's great. I'm happy for you. I want to thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the topics we talked about while I swatched, and if there's anything else you want me to discuss in more details, I will be happy to. I think this topic of how to make money as an artist is important, and I think I have with time more and more to say on the subject. I never want to talk about things I don't know much about, but with time, as I build myself and I learn new things, I'm happy to share them with you. So please like this video if you enjoyed it. This really helps it reach more people, and also subscribe if you still haven't. My name is Liron. I have tons of other videos like this one, and I will see you again in another one really soon.